But it's up to us to plug into God to find out so he can pull that thing out of us and show us, this is what I called you to do.
Blue, what do you mean?
I agree with everything brother my brother was saying. It starts with God. And once you have God in your life, he gonna lead you into what you need in life. You know, I think like Gary said, it starts with God, but I was thinking, I guess I'm posing the question to Gary, what if a man already have God? Okay, what do he need after that, you know? Because I can't speak for everybody, you know, I can only speak for me, you know. But I was thinking, if you already have God in your life, okay, what do you need to make it in life, or what do you need next if you already have him in your life? I'm thinking about that and trying to get an answer to that.
Yeah, for one thing, it's one thing to say I know God, but it's another thing to be obedient to God. When God tells you to go left, go right, do this, do that. Sometimes that's the hardest thing for men. I'm speaking from a man's perspective. It's hard for men to let go. Like people say, let go and let God. It's hard for men to say, God, I relinquish this to you. But I look at my own life and I see everything that I have, every blessing that I have has come from his direction. I can't tell you I had a 5 and 10 year plan to get here and do this and do that. There's times where God told me to do things that didn't make natural sense. So I went back and forth and went, okay, God, is this you? Is this what you're telling me to do? God, this don't make no sense. But God showed me, just do what I'm telling you to do, and it'll always come out to where you see. Hindsight is 20/20. You're like, now I see. I look back at my life and I can see how God has been moving me around like a chess piece. How he's even kept me out of trouble that I could have very well gotten into, that I was doing things that I could have gone to prison. But he kept those things from happening to me so that I can go into the prisons and minister to men. Now, if I had gotten the record, they probably wouldn't even let me in there. But I look back and I'm so grateful and so thankful to him that he's shown me how to obey him, how to love him, how to trust him, because it's hard to trust somebody you don't know. And the only way to trust God fully is to get to know him, spend that time with him. You know, we can look at our lives and we can see where he's done, where he's saved our lives. And so we say, man, something told me not to go that way. No, that's God. That's God directing us. Hey, he's showing us things that we can't see.
Right. I want to say too, if you go to most churches, it'd be mostly women in there. And that's because I think as men, we have a problem in trusting, you know. And so I guess once we let that wall down and start trusting in God and let him lead us, things will be a little more easier about life.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's things that have gone on that I've experienced even in the church that didn't necessarily line up with the way God wanted things done. But I didn't attribute that to God. I look at man and I got the proper view and proper perspective of man. Man, we're all fallible. We all make mistakes. So we can't, even in church, we can't follow the personality. We got to follow the Holy Spirit. We got to follow God. And even when we see something, God may move us from a particular place, but he doesn't move us from his presence and from his instructions. So I had to leave a place before, but some things happened, but I didn't attribute that to God. I looked at, hey, this is just man. And I'm going to keep on following God. You know, I'm going to pray for you, but I'm going to keep following God because I know that's where my strength lies. That's where the redemption lies. That's where, and what he did for me and what he did for us all is worthy. You know, he's worthy to be praised in every aspect of my life. So I just look at him and I think back on a particular thing where particular incident where I was younger and I had a gun. Guy put a gun in my face and pulled the trigger twice. And the gun didn't go off, and he gave the gun to his brother. He ran off with it, and it went off and shot him in the leg. And after I gave my life to the Lord, God took me back to that and said, "Who do you think stopped them bullets from coming out of that gun?" I said, "I knew it was you." He said, "Well, if I protected you then, when you knew nothing about me, how much more will I protect you now?" So I have experiences to where I can look back and literally see the hand of God interacting and intervening in my life, which enables me to sit here today. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be sitting here right now.
Amen. Miss Blue? I'm sorry, you got anything to say?
I have a question for him.
Oh, Gary, I'm sorry.
Dre,
So,
how do you attribute listening to all this wisdom? How have your thoughts towards women and want versus need changed by sitting at the king's table? What did you think you wanted or needed from a woman, and what do you think now?
I mean, honestly, I didn't know, but one thing I learned is to listen and really appreciate a woman. Because a lot of times we don't. Like, a lot of times women try to bring stuff out of us that we don't even see. So when you ask the question about what does a man need, I feel like both these two men just covered that God is basically what they need. Because once you have that, everything pretty much falls in place after that. And a lot of times we mess things up. For example, you may get a woman who is trying to push you, and you think she's all over your back, but when she sees potential, we tend to ignore that. And I have. A lot of women are not good at expressing their love, but they show it. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times
That's me. Go ahead.
so a lot of times, we miss that. So, sitting here listening to them, I start to kind of take notice to those things. Sometimes like we listen to respond, but like, are you really we hear things, but we don't actually listen. So one thing I learned was to appreciate the woman and try to understand her and what she's trying to do and trying to help you, and basically just listen. You understand what I mean? I can't put it no simpler than that. You just need to listen. And a lot of times, even though we think we are, we're not.
yeah, we're not listening to understand.
There you go. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, right.
So, Dre, being a single man in the natural state, what does your list look like?
It's in my list.
What do you need from a woman, because you're single? So for what you want in your life, you have to prepare for it. So you're sitting at the tables with brothers that have been where you're trying to go. So just listening to the married men and the struggles and the things that you hear at the king's table, what does your list look like?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like I want a woman that wants to constantly better herself. Because being around these men make me want to constantly better myself at all times. And a lot of times, and it's an ongoing thing because God is always watching. So, I take something from every man here. And basically, if I know that I'm getting out here, I'm working hard, I'm praying, I'm trying to build, that's the same thing that I want from a woman. And a lot of times, we get, look at the exterior, how much money she make or what she got going on, but it's just like, what does her soul look like? Because a lot of times we get with this woman and our yokes don't match. You understand what I'm saying? Just like she used to kind of getting what she want, not working too hard, kind of just doing it, kind of like everything is on the fly with them. But if I'm trying to build something and I'm trying to make something of myself, I need you doing the same thing. But I also understand that from them being married, it's not going to happen like this. It's not going to happen overnight. like Gary was talking about the other day that, my 5 weaknesses may be her 5 strengths, and vice versa. So, I want a woman that, be able to kind of do the same thing. If she got weaknesses I can make up, just like, prime example, if I know I'm bad with saving money and she's good at it, let her, kind of handle the bills and things of that nature, so that way we can at least save some money, so we can do stuff like go on vacation. You understand what I'm saying?
I had to learn that the hard way.
It's just basically, like I said, I'm at a point where, I want somebody to match me. So therefore, I have to keep doing the right thing. I have to keep praying, and I can't give up.
Sometimes I think as men, we don't really understand what we want. We don't have a clue. We don't know ourselves sometimes. Cause something like I could just think in the past how I dated the same type of woman and didn't get it. Like, making the same mistakes over and over, and didn't understand that I had to change my thinking and what I was doing to get something different. Sometimes we don't understand what we're doing, and we do the same things over and over until it finally, sometimes it just don't click in right away.
Okay. So I hear what you all are saying as far as what you need from women. So when you go into relationships, even with me now that the wisdom I've acquired lately, even in friendship with women, I have 3 questions. What do you need from me? I make my needs known of what I need from you, and what are we going to do together? So if you're not serious inside about what you want to need, how can you expect someone to give you that if you never haven't voiced it? Because I know when we go in as our representative. But if you hold a man stuff too long, it's going to fall off. So in that case, how can this woman give you what you need if you don't even know what you want or who you are as a man?
Well, I could say that what I've women are nurturers, women are producers. You give a woman groceries, she'll make a meal. You give a woman children, she'll make a family. You give a woman a house, she'll make it a home. And that's what and women deserve appreciation and gratitude and honor for what they do, who they are, and who they are in our lives. And God says that women are helpmates, which means they will help a man that they respect and honor. They can help a man achieve his greatest achievement. You often heard it said that behind every great man there's a great woman, but I don't say behind the man. Alongside a great man is a great woman, and alongside a great woman should be a great man that's supporting her, that's helping her to produce. Because there's great gifts and talents in her that are not to be. Why would God send you somebody? Why would He send you somebody that you shouldn't listen to? He wouldn't send you somebody dumb that's not sent with a purpose. God is always purpose-minded. He wouldn't send you somebody that meant nothing to you. He wouldn't send you somebody that you should abuse, because when you see a man abusing a woman verbally or sexually or physically, that's a man who doesn't understand who he is and doesn't understand life and doesn't understand who the woman is. Because if you beating and physically abusing your spouse, how does that make you look as a man? I don't respect any man that would beat a woman or that would abuse a woman in any kind of way, because that's showing his ignorance, that he doesn't know who he is and who she is. Women are the Bible talks about man being the head, but the women are the neck that turns the head. Women have great influence in a man's life. And it's how she uses that influence. You can use that influence for good or for evil. You can use that influence to say, well, if you don't do this, that, and the other, I'm shutting off the sex game at home. Which will send, if that's the only legal place in God's eyes that I can get those needs met, why would you manipulate the situation with that? And then you can actually send your spouse out into the world vulnerable, and Satan sitting back waiting on it. If he been studying that man all his life, or that woman, he been studying your spouse all their life, and they know what they like. If you like light skin, big breasts, long hair, guess where you gonna send across the path when your man is vulnerable? Because you sent him out there like that. Or vice versa, if the man sends it, he won't tell his wife he love you, won't respect her, guess what? If she like tall, dark, and handsome, guess who the enemy gonna send back? Tall, dark, and handsome. Because it's easy to turn down something you ain't attracted to. It's hard to turn down something that you're not attracted to. So he'll send something across your path that will get your attention. And before you know it, you tied up with somebody emotionally, spiritually, sexually, all kinds of stuff. You intertwine. And often, man, when you lay down with somebody, you can get up. That's a main highway of spiritual transfer. You can get up. You can lay down with somebody and get up with a spirit of murder on you. You can get up with a spirit of addiction on you, not know where it came from. Spirit of anger. There's a whole lot of things. Just think about all the spirits that somebody may have come in contact with and not knowing. How many spirits was in that person you just laid with? You don't even know. You lay with him and you get up and now, hey, man, why don't all of a sudden I want to smoke crack? You got a spirit. You got up with a spirit of addiction on you or something. You never know where it came from.
True,
so we got to be careful of what we allow in and out of our spirits, our mind, our ears, our eyes. We got to be careful because that all plays a part, and it all sets up patterns and things in our lives. And I was thinking about how there's many men that create children, go from woman to woman and create kids and have them all over, don't take care of any of the kids, and then got the nerve to go and get with somebody with kids and help her take care of her kids, and his kids ain't seen him in 6 years.
I've seen that happen.
You know, that's the craziest thing, man. But that goes back, a lot of things. When I was in Africa, man, a lot of stuff that we do here in America is not tolerated there, and it's not done there. And I was sitting up, I was shocked, man. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking. Now, you look back at when slavery, a man wasn't allowed to stay and take care of his family. He was only used as a stud to create more product, which were children that the master could sell and that he could make money off of. So he wasn't even allowed to stay. So that generational curse is still in effect to this day, to where men are putting notches on their belt, going around making kids and not staying there and taking care of, not raising the children up. And that happened way back in slavery, man. It wasn't like that when we were in Africa. Came here, that was strategically done to set up this generational curse and to set up this thing to where men feel that they don't have to stay around. It's a woman's job to take care of the children. No, it's not. Children need both parents. Children need both parents. Now, whether you in the home or not, you can still be in your child's life. And that child needs you in their life. And we as grown men know that how good it feels and how comforting it is to know that you got some friends that got your back. If something go down, you got somebody that got your back. Now, just think about a kid that's coming up in this world and bullying and cyberbullying and all this type of stuff, and no father there to say, I got your back. I'll protect you. I tell my son all the time, no matter what, I got your back. You be honest with me, let me know what's going on. I don't care if somebody try to do something to you and threaten you that they're going to kill your whole family, because a lot of kids have done that. Been sexually abused, and the abuser tell them, if you tell somebody, I'm going to kill your parents, I'm going to kill your whole family. I tell Gary, you come tell me and let me deal with the rest of the mess. You don't let nobody bluff you into not saying something that's going wrong. And the only way, and I spend so much time with him, I know when something's off with him. I don't even have to ask him. I know when something's out there. And we're going to talk about it until he tells me what's going on, because I'm not going to have you suffering in silence. You're my son. You are me. If I care about me, how can I never care about you? You are me, son. So whatever the case may be, I got your back. And I tell them, don't ever start nothing. But you got every right to defend yourself. And if you defending yourself and having this school, whatever, I got your back. You know your daddy got your back. So you just be the great kid that you are. No, don't start nothing. But I expect you to finish it if they come at you. Because you're not going to be a victim. We don't have victims in this house. And I got your back. If you can't handle it, I can handle it. So I just want admonish men to understand who the women are in our lives that God has entrusted us with, and to understand that we got to answer to God for the way we treat them. And it's not that I treat my wife a certain way because I'm scared of God. I got a healthy fear of God to say, hey, I got to answer to him for the way I treat. This is his daughter that he sent me. And how can I? The Bible talks about if you don't treat your wife right, God won't even hear and answer your prayers. I want all my prayers answered. So that's how serious it is with God. If you ain't treating her right, how can you expect me to bless you to get your prayers answered? And sometimes when we don't have the proper perspective, I know with me, sometimes I can kind of go back and forth with things, but once I understand what's going on and I see what's at stake, that gives me strength to make the right decision and say, you know what, I don't want to deal with the consequences of not doing it right. I don't want to have to deal with that. So I'm gonna do to the best of my ability. I'm gonna do whatever God has me to do because I want to see my wife prosper. And you can tell, I'm telling you this, a man can tell you anything with his mouth, but you can tell what's really up with a man when you look in the face of his wife. You can tell whether he's abusive. You can tell whether he's a respectable man behind closed doors. You can look at his wife and that'll tell the whole story about how he treats her, you know, what he does with her, what kind of man he is. And a lot of people make those decisions. A lot of men miss opportunities, even business opportunities, by the way he treats his wife. You think that, oh, it ain't gonna matter. Other men look at that because, like I said before, your spouse is the closest relationship you have here on earth. And if you mistreat her, if you don't respect your commitment, if you don't respect boundaries, if you don't respect her, who's going to trust you with anything else? A man ain't going to trust you with, you'll violate a business relationship. You'll violate a friendship. You'll violate anything if you